I-4 corridor, tourist hotbed, and a stretch of road that has its own rivalry game. We are set for a war for this stretch of road, and at the end of it, only one will have the right of way. Welcome everyone to Orlando, Florida, the bounce house, home of the UCF Knights. As we'll see, the winners of 3 straight, the South Florida Bulls, taking on the winners of 4 straight, the UCF Knights. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. We'll kick it off to get us underway. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So the UCF Knights offense will get first crack at it today. The Golden Knights took down the Bulls, perhaps by the horns the last time they met, and won the war on I-4.
Yeah, UCF feels like since moving to the Big 12, they're starting to recruit better players, and I think that was the difference the last time these two teams met up. They just seemed to be bigger and stronger when the game was on the line.
And obviously, the war on I-4 is awesome, and this is a good rivalry game that's kind of budding, but one thing you talked about speed, Palmer. In the state of Florida, you have speed, and UCF has a lot of speed, a lot of playmakers, and it was on full display.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Power football with the run. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. Shoots it to the left. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they try to throw for it there on 3rd down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. So the USF Bulls offense will take the field for the first time. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week, and watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick, the ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will, a really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense and really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he really earned his offensive coordinator's trust after that performance. So I'm anticipating the playbook to expand a little bit in this game, maybe see some new schemes in the passing game just based on what this guy was able to do the last time he took the field.
And the Bulls, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Sends it back in motion. To the air. It's Evans. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete. The war on I-4 is relatively new. Both schools compete across 14 sports for the right to win the Golden I-4 road sign. But, of course, the most important battle is the one that happens on the gridiron.
It is, but how cool is it? The war on I-4. I mean, that's just it's a dope name. I really like it. Obviously, this is kind of a new rivalry, but Palmer, UCF, USF, they're fighting for the same kids in recruiting and building a program.
Yeah, man, whether you get off on McIntosh Road, the Florida Turnpike, or Lake Mary Boulevard, these two schools do not like each other. Whether it's the Bounce House or Raymond James Stadium, the war on I-4, baby, that's where it's at.
And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd. And here comes the field goal unit. He's going to have to get into this one a little bit from 47 yards away. He's got it, showing off that big leg from 47 yards out.
I'll tell you, this is not an easy place to play on the road, especially at nighttime. This crowd, they get loud. That's the way it's been so far, but they have a nice drive to open it up. They're able to execute. They put themselves in field goal range, knock it through the uprights. They did exactly what they needed to do, taking a 3-0 lead here early on the road. That's impressive.
Now the UCF offense ready to go back to work. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. This drive will open from the 15. Grabbed over the middle. It's Hughes.
Yeah, and what a nice job seeing it, reacting, and throwing it. When you run these RPOs, you want to read the defense really quickly. Is he playing run? Okay, boom. I'm going to throw the slant right behind him. Nice job by the QB.
They go to the ground, fighting off the defender. That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 30.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Might as well give it to him again. Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong, the emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends.
He hurls one deep down the left side. Catch inside the 25. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down. The Knights are flying down the field. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Got enough space, and he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Knights! Can these guys just score from anywhere out there? After that drive, it sure looks that way.
And that's what separates really good offenses from great offenses. When you're backed up in a bad position and you can still fight your way out, they'll get you a touchdown. That's a great drive by the offense.
From inside the 10, here he comes. Slips through the line. They bring him down, but not before a really good return sets up this offense in solid field position. Opening play of the drive from the 39. Off play action on first down. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30. That's the end of the quarter, and UCF has the lead. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. The Bulls with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. The play action fake. Fires to the middle. Got his man to the left. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to...
There he goes! Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. And the Bulls just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. Looking to pass inside the red zone. Zings it complete to the right. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
Hey, on offense, you just got to stay ahead of the sticks, and a big part of that is finding positive production on first down. When you've got this guy in the backfield, there's a lot of ways you can do that. You're going to hand it off to him, but how about dialing up the pass play on first down and just letting him go to work to set up second and short?
And in this weather, man, you start to see more of this. You try to throw the ball harder to penetrate through the weather and get it to your target, but just catching a football that's a little bit slippery sometimes, you'll see some of those drops, and it's just part of the game.
The bounce house is rolling here on third down, trying to help UCF. He's got it on the run, and he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, USF.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. Here's a heat. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
The pull and throw off the RPO. He's forced out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A good pickup to give this offense some operating room. They'll move the wide receiver. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line, warp speed for second down. Brown will throw it. Catch in the middle. It's Jenkins. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. It's Hughes. Across the 50-yard line on the huge pickup, and he's out of bounds at the 45. The Knights will line it up on 1st and 10. Motion from the wide receiver. Using his legs, it's Simpkins. Turning it on! An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create second and short, third and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. The Knights want to pick up the tempo. Back to pass on second down. Here's the pressure. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. From the gun, running back on the move. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th down. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. The Knights will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. You'd think they would have had a good chance to... one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David, it's sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to create and sometimes hard to stop. You have it. So, Jesse, don't do anything stupid to create some momentum for the other side.
I think a lot of this comes down to your quarterback and whether or not he's making good decisions in this game. If yes, be aggressive. If not, let's just take the lead into halftime and get ready for the second half.
And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. Starting a drive like that really builds confidence. First down from the 45. Back to pass, it's Evans. Going for the big play. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
I know that shot down the field was incomplete, but you got to keep taking shots. Those receivers love to go deep. It gives them a breath of fresh air. They get more excitement. They're going to the quarterback with a little bit more juice because you know you're feeding them. So I would keep taking deep shots down the field.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Play action. Got his man in the middle. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. They'll use a timeout right before halftime, maybe time for one or two more plays. Boy, if they don't convert this fourth down, there will be questions to be answered. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Takes a shot as he lets it go. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they get the takeaway and prevent points from going up just before the end of the half. A very conservative approach here, just taking the knee and heading to the locker room. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, when UCF and USF get together, it's like a UFC match. Fiery and feisty. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. Fellas, so much intrigue when UCF and USF face off. Let's get things back to you.
The Knights will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. They go to work in the third quarter with the lead, but they have had a little trouble keeping their quarterback upright.
Yeah, and you have the lead, you're positive, but the offensive line coach is definitely going to be upset. And the offensive coordinator, listen, I don't want my guy getting touched. He's being productive, but give him some more time here in the second half.
I think you can do that, too, offensively, by maybe leaving your tight end in to help block, maybe chipping with running backs to help these tackles out on the edge, because you're right, that pocket has been shaky. And if it continues to be that way in the second half, this could be a much different looking football.
The earth is shaking. Bounce House living up to its name as UCF tries to get off the field. With the catch, it's Nimrod. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35. The Bulls getting set on 1st and 10. Gives it on the option. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, the defense was trailing going in at halftime, and I think they made some adjustments against the run. They want to slow this guy down. That's a really nice start to the second half if you're on defense.
Off the play fake. Throws to the wideout. Pulls it in. It's Nimrod. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times they'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
He's got first down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49. And the Bulls look to keep this drive humming. Back to pass, it's Evans. Pressure coming. Those two not on the same page. It's incomplete.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working. Ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Now facing a 3rd and long. Spits it out to the back. Finds him out of the backfield. He didn't quite make it to the sticks, and it'll bring up a 4th down from the 42. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They were unfazed by that earlier 4th down failure and will try for a 2nd time in this one. It's incomplete, and the defense comes up with a stop.
Nice job by the defense. Great pass defense, getting in the lanes, doing a really good job understanding they were going to throw the football in this 4th down. They played it well. Incomplete pass. Defense turns to offense.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
That's the kind of protection you dream about as he fires left. How about this senior picking up some yardage and making a nice play on that one? The Knights headed quickly to the line. Defense showing heavy blitz at the line. On the run, it's Simpkins. Shakes off the defender. And he must have felt like there were 15 guys on defense, and he dodged a bunch of them in the backfield, but still knocked down for a loss. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Under fire. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this 3rd period. We've come to the end of the quarter, and USF is on top. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One final quarter to play, and we'll have to see if we can get everyone's focus back on the game after this spectacular event. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this 3rd down play. They'll run play action. Fires toward the end zone. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. And points have been hard to come by in this one. They'll try to put together a drive. Snagged in the middle, it's Williams. Makes the tackle at the 30 after he picked up 10. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Scanning the field, it's Evans. Firing to the right, complete. Smashes through the tackle. Wide open on the right. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the 1st down before he steps out of bounds.
And what a huge play for the offense. Hitting that throw not only is big for their confidence, but it also flips the field.
They say it's still a game of field position, and that last one just flipped this baby. They've got it 1st and 10 in the red zone. They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. On the move. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The Bulls have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Go straight ahead. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Bulls!
You know, good teams just know how to close games out, and you're seeing that right now with this team, right? Their defense just had a massive takeaway. The offense able to capitalize on that with a touchdown, so they padded their lead, and this just speaks to, I think, the experience in the locker room and also the playmakers they have. This game is starting to feel like a blowout.
They'll try to add another to their lead, and he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, every game in the SEC so vital to a team's season, and this one is no different. Florida took its show on the road, and they'll be packing a big old W in their bags for the trip back to Gainesville. Never underestimate the importance of a road win and how it can impact a team's trajectory.
Brown wants to pass. Working that left side now.
Going to be very interesting to see what the fallout from this one is, because as we know, you can't lose games in the SEC like this without some blowback.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Janging on the move. It'll be a 1st down at the 29.
Oftentimes when offenses get a 1st down, that's when they like to speed up the tempo. You're seeing them now go hurry up.
Wants to go up top on 1st down. Makes the grab. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the 1st down. The Knights can really attack on this 2nd and short. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Knights will snap it on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Jukes his way for more. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain. The hurry up now, 2nd down, clock ticking. Looking to fire. Catch in the middle, it's Hughes. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage. They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. And it's caught for the late touchdown. So how about this? Maybe we are set up for a finish.
And that's step one. Great job by this offense getting in the end zone. Now you got to go get the stop. You got to get the football back. You got to find a way to do something to create a turnover, get an onside, to get the football back, to get back in this football game.
South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. Now we've got a little game pressure, and we'll see how the offense responds in a 3-point game, Jesse.
I can't wait to see this quarterback and how he's going to be able to handle that pressure, David. How will he respond in this situation?
And just knowing, listen, I'm only up by 3 now. If I can make this a 2-score game, I can almost put this away in the 4th quarter.
Running back searching for a hole. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Really nice job stopping the run, but the problem is you have 0 timeouts left. You cannot stop the clock right now if you're the...
Breaks into the open. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13.
And that's a welcome sight. Like, this offense has really, really struggled. Bottom 50 in college football in 1st downs. So they'll take anything they can get. Nice 3rd down conversion. Let's get some positive plays. Keep it 3rd and short. Find a way to get this offense on an upward trajectory, because so far this season, they've really struggled.
Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
Simple pitch, simple catch, easy little drag route right over the field. It's a nice timing route. You can run it versus man or you can run it versus zone and have a lot of success.
This time they stop him behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that has been rare in this one. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. And he gets it into the end zone for a touchdown, a gut punch to this defense, and probably a knockout punch.
That is just how the coach wants to draw it up. Take up all the clock, score the go-ahead touchdown. This one is all but over.
And the extra point extends the lead to double figures at 10. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead.
24, UCF 14.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. No more room to run. They make the tackle right there, and the clock is at 0, and that's how this one will end. The war on I-4 hits the passing lane and goes west to Tampa as the Bulls get the best of the Knights. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.